3 years ago, I actually had the Insta360 GO 1 and I enjoyed using it. Today, I actually have this third iteration or version. This is the Insta360 GO 3S. Insta360 GO 3S. This is a tiny but mighty action camera that's endless number of ways to use it hands-free. You can wear it, clip it, or mount it to almost any metallic surfaces. And get this, it can finally shoot in 4K up to 120 minutes. That's about 2.5 hours of use. I'll also be showing you guys how this little accessory can actually help to back up your files in a quick and easy way. So, if you're looking for something tiny that can shoot hands-free, this might be a very promising option. Before we begin, Insta360 did send me their Insta360 GO 3 to review, but I'm no way obliged to sing praises about it. And they are actually just require me to cover some points, which my video usually does. Now, the next thing is that this whole set comes with the Ultimate Bundle. Let's quickly open to see what it comes with in this Ultimate set itself. Oops. Alright, so inside the set itself obviously comes with the camera. And here you actually have this necklace clip, which you'll be using it later on to do an outdoor obstacle course. Here you have this retractable or rotatable mount that sometimes once you put into your body, you can actually rotate it to get a nicer view. Okay, I think I need to flip my microphone outwards because it won't capture the audio well. Okay, I think now my audio is slightly better. Next, you have this little tripod stick over here, which is very unique in the way it actually mounts up this action pod. Alright, so it actually comes with this action pod over here, which you can open it up. Okay, so we're going to open this thing up and attach the Insta360 GO with the action pod. Now this whole thing is called the action pod, so how you attach it is over here. Ta-da! So let's do it again. So you press it at the sides. Okay, then you will open up the feet over here and you have this action mount. You pull this apart, put it in between, and put this thing in. And of course, lock it. So this whole tripod, you can actually open up his feet to give you a nice extension. And of course, needless to say, this have a selfie screen, ta-da! Okay, which you can press record over here to be able to get a nice view. And the mode that I'm actually on is called the free framing, meaning I can actually choose in post editing whether I want to use it portrait or landscape. Okay, so this is how it looks. Okay, that's my friend. Okay, getting back to the script. On the top part over here, there are actually other accessories. We have the USB cable. You also have this extra latch that's able to put your Insta360 GO on it to prevent it from actually coming out. Another important accessory which we use for the obstacle course. Here we have another action mount over here. Action mount. And this will be able to fit in for most tripods. Most tripods will have a 1/4" screw adapter. And here you can see I can actually affix this to any tripods that I have. Essential for all those who don't quite like the extension or at least don't find the tripod long enough. This gives an additional option. Last but not least, we have this mount which you can actually put on top of car or moving vehicles. This suction magnet thing. Yeah, so that's pretty much what comes in this Ultimate Bundle. Alright, so before we try the adventure thing which we're going to put this Insta360 GO 3 to the test, let's briefly set it up and let me show you guys about this necklace wrap accessory. So as you guys already saw before this, there are a lot of things that come within this accessory, but let's focus on this necklace. And of course the string component. Okay, so what I want to do is to take out the main portion of the Insta360 GO 3, which is this, and fit into this little secure portion first. So we're going to squeeze this in over here. So once it's fitted, it will look something like this at the back. And what we'll do is to unwrap this necklace portion to wear it inside my shirt. Now as you can see, I'm actually wearing black color and it so nicely fits in the Insta360 GO, which is black in color. At the very start, I wanted white. I'm not going to lie, it actually looks better. So actually before I put in, I will need to loop this around. So loop this around over here, so it doesn't actually fall out. Then we're going to insert this metal pendant over here. And once I attach it, it doesn't fall off when I'm actually climbing the obstacle. Okay, let's try to hide in somewhere discreet. Last but not least, let's on the Insta360 GO. you get to see actually how it looks on my chest itself. Alright, so let's go and start trying this thing out. Wow, I'm not gonna lie, it's not as easy as I thought. But nice view. Whoa! Okay, so basically I actually lost the viewfinder, so now we are just trying to go and get it. Thank you, Abang. Yeah, thanks. Okay, thankfully it's okay, it's fine. Hand on my harness.
Yeah, grab your harness. Yeah. Okay. All good.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah. Oh no.
Alright, 3, 2, 1.
Ah!
Alright, thank you guys.
Thank you. Okay, so we have finally completed the whole level 3. Apparently you only can choose either the level 3, level 2 or level 1. We go with the level 3, which was the scariest, which was over here, which actually dropped the camera viewfinder. Alright, let's head back. Now let's talk about its two special ways of recording of this Insta360 GO 3S, which is its gesture controls and voice commands. So all I have to do is just set the camera over here and go all the way to the back. Alright, start recording. So as you can see, with just saying start recording, it just records the video on the go. And if I ever want to stop recording, I'll just say stop recording. So for capturing photos, all I have to do is just to do this. All I have to do is just to put my palm facing out this way. It will start recording. And of course, to stop, I'll just hold my hand over here. Kind of weird, but quite an interesting way to be able to capture, especially if your hands is occupied. Alright, now let's do a walkabout real-life test with the Insta360 GO 3 using its flip-out screen. Alright, so just to show you how it briefly works is that at the side there's actually these two buttons which you can click it to change the different modes. So all I have to do is just press over here and there are different modes. Ta-da! So let's just go to video mode. Video mode over here. Alright, you can see there's also different types of view for it. Okay, if you can see up close, I can actually change here. Okay, there's actually action, which is super wide. Then you have, what is this? You have mega. you have ultra wide, you have D-Warp, and you have narrow. So for simplicity's sake, let's just go for the widest, which is action. Action, which is over here. Okay, so what we are recording now is actually with the Insta360 GO inside the action pod. Let me just briefly remove it to show you how it looks like. Okay, so it looks like this. Ta-da! I think you guys can tell that this action camera mode really looks a little bit weird. I actually look really stretched out like an alien. So my favorite mode is actually this D-Warp mode. Let me just change it to show you. It actually looks so much more normal. Alright, since we're at it, let's go through all the modes. This is actually the Mega mode, which is I think also quite wide. And here is actually the Ultra mode, which I think looks much better. Ultra mode. Then we have my favorite mode, which is the D-Warp mode, which I feel looks the most natural looking. So this is the D-Warp mode. Let's come back to this later. And lastly, the narrow mode, which I think looks the most natural, but you don't really get a lot of the background. So let's just jump back to the D-Warp mode. Alright, so we are back at this D-Warp mode. Okay, just in case you guys do not know, warping means that it's actually being very distorted. So de-warping literally means to undo that warping. And so far, this has been my favorite. I find that the footage actually looks most natural looking, while it is widest. While I do like how the narrow looks, the field of view isn't as good as this D-Warp mode. So let's just do a 380 degrees. Okay, where we are is actually in Sentosa, which is actually a resort island in Singapore. Okay, Singapore isn't that big and we only had one like resort location, which is Sentosa. So while we're actually doing this outdoor test, also do take note of the audio. I believe the audio is actually not bad for a camera this size. So now we are somewhere during about late afternoon, which is about 5 plus. So it's actually quite sunny. And you can see that the low light is definitely better than its predecessor. Okay, so like I mentioned, the purpose of this camera is actually as an action camera. So don't expect its quality to be as good as full frame cameras and such. But so far, I got to tell you, I'm quite impressed with the features of this little small thing. The improvements compared to the first version I had is actually miles apart. The ability to record 4K make things so much easier and the quality so much better. So we're actually walking back to the main station, which is actually the beach station. So along here, you'll be able to see other attractions such as this, the luge. So let's just take a look at the environment. Okay, do take note that this footage is without any filters, just with the camera itself. Okay, let's also do a running test. Okay, and as expected, it's actually quite stable. Impressively stable. Now let's talk about a little device which actually Insta360 GO 3S that you can actually purchase with. Now this is actually a quick reader. Okay, this quick reader is really interesting because at the back, you actually have adapters for both Lightning and USB-C. The Insta360 3S that you buy actually comes with an internal memory of about 64 gigabytes. Or if you were to buy a higher version, I mean a larger capacity version, it actually comes with 128 gigabytes. So in the case that you overuse it, let's say if you're out for a shoot using it whole day and the memory actually finishes, all you have to do is just to open this up, okay, attach it to the card reader. Okay, so all we have to do is just plug this in. Okay, and go to your camera, which is over here. And all your files are over there. So all we have to do is just to tap on all those files and press download. So I'm just going to do a quick one. Okay, so it actually loads to show me which file I'm actually downloading. Pinch the timeline to zoom in and out. Alright, I'm not going to do that. Alright, so I just click at the bottom at here. And it's added to this download queue, which eventually downloads to your phone. Okay, so you can actually see it's actually downloading over here. Now, is there another way to be able to use this quick reader? Yes, it is. You can actually plug it straight into your action pod. Let's try it. Alright, so let's just plug it out. Okay, and then we are going to do it from here. There's this USB-C port, and we are going to just plug it in over here. And you see, all I have to do is just press this simple transfer all files. Okay, over here, all I have to do is just click this, and you actually start transferring all of the files that I've just shot with my Insta360 GO 3S. Amazing, isn't it? I don't have to do anything, just wait for this whole thing to load all the files in. Okay, and if you're wondering if the screen only operates in landscape mode, it actually operates in portrait modes too. Okay, so let's just cancel this and flip it this way. So it even tells you how you're going to transfer it, like all or some. So it'll tell you, oh, it's transferring 24 gigs worth of files all the way into your SD card, which is 64 gigabytes. Having this is simple but genius. Now that you guys seen a test on this Insta360 GO, both real life and of course in the obstacle course, let's run through some highlights and about the cost of how much this thing actually is. Now let's talk about the highlights. Now the Insta360 GO 3S is known to have 4K recording. Now the previous generation, which is the Insta360 GO 3, only can record up to 2.7K. This can record up to 4K and goes all the way up to 140 minutes. Now the 140 minutes is of course with this action port itself. Without the action port, it's just only about 60 minutes. And just nice, when I was doing the obstacle course, it actually managed to cover the whole obstacle course, which is around about 30 minutes. So in the case which you are shooting 4K just like me, just take note that it might not record all the way up to 60 minutes. Maybe the 60 minutes is likely for the one that you are actually shooting 1080p. If you are shooting 4K, the battery life do decrease quite a little. Now of course, beyond its recording parameters, the physical aspects of this camera also does make a leap comparing with the Insta360 GO 3. It is able to go down to depths of water up to 33 meters compared with 16 meters, twice its depth. There are of course a bunch of other specifications which I won't go into details, but I'll just put the tables over here. It might be significant for some of you, but might not be for some. Alright, let's go into its price. Now if you were to get it with its ultimate bundle, this whole thing, it actually costs about 750 USD. If you do not need this whole bundle and just need the camera and let's say the pendant, and of course this adjustable casing, it only comes up to about 589. But I mean, why not just spend 150 more to get everything else included? It just makes no sense to get them separately once you realize you needed them. I can't tell you how many times I end up buying more and more just because I wanted to stinge or save or not getting its full pack. So don't make the same mistake as me. If you guys like this camera enough, get it, the whole thing with the ultimate bundle. It'll be more worth it in the long run. Alright, let's conclude. What do I think about the Insta360 GO 3S? Is it worth it? So far, I'm really quite impressed about it. From the hardware and accessories all the way to the software, I'm surprised they didn't just call it the Insta360 GO 4. Looking at the amount of improvements that they have made, starting from the accessories, I like how the bundle comes with any and every accessory you will ever need. You can wear it, clip it, or stick it to different surfaces. There's even a safety latch if you ever need to use it for rigorous sports, such as myself. Whoa! For the hardware, I like that the action port is able to not just be used as a selfie screen, but allows you to transfer files from your quick reader and access functions which otherwise are impossible on the GO 3S itself. Of course, we got to talk about how many stabilizations and wide angle modes you have. With the inclusion of voice commands and gesture controls, it makes this whole thing a beast. With the advancement of technologies, there aren't many cameras out there that actually blows my mind. For this Insta360 GO, I could safely say it's an exception. There are so many different things that I never thought was possible on such a small device at such a good price point. Do you agree or disagree? Or do you think there are other better options out there? I'm curious, let me know down in the comments below. If not, see you guys in the next video. Anyway, for all those who want the vertical version of this unboxing, do check out my TikTok or Instagram reels over here. I actually have another channel just for this.